Smartly Uneducated is hands down the greatest podcast in the world. But be warned, this one is not for the faint of heart. With topics ranging from true crime to conspiracy theories, this podcast doesn't shy away from violence or controversial content. Their slogan,
"Oh, we're going to Pluto to see alien titties,"
or
and suck on it till you get some raw milk,
isn't just a catchy tagline. It's the truth. These hosts have a world of knowledge that expands across the cosmos. If you are looking for a podcast that will make you laugh, make you think, and make you reevaluate your life choices, tune into Smartly Uneducated and join the uneducated madness.
It was inevitable.
Oh, that is great.
It could have happened to anyone.
Oh, yes. Welcome to Smartly Uneducated, everybody. That's a
the
great
intro.
way. Oh, yes. That's a great way to welcome everybody in here. I faded the music out on the recording.
Now my scrotum stretched out like a fucking yard.
Oh,
I glued my balls to my butthole again, baby. It's inevitable. It could have happened to anybody.
Yeah.
That song is hysterical. Shout out to that song in general.
Yeah, that was, it's called I Glued My Balls to My Butthole Again by the Sticky Sweethearts.
It's definitely an AI generated song, but it's very funny.
Dude, for all of you lovebirds out there, I got that early morning voice, so this is good radio talk.
Welcome back, because I glued my balls to my butthole again is a world classic hit, baby.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, we had a great fucking time.
Shout out to the Sticky Sweethearts.
Yes.
Well, I think
Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back with a really weird podcast time.
really weird.
Oh yeah, really weird. That was an intentional use that time.
I could tell.
Dude, my voice is there.
And this morning when we went to the local 7-Eleven and you slipped up and said the 7-Eleven.
Dude, don't judge me. The other 7-Eleven doesn't do that. It doesn't do that at all.
It's brilliant.
Sorry, I got to get out of that radio announcer voice.
Out of that sultry.
Dude, my
smooth
voice is
talking.
like in a weird place right now.
Well, you don't like your voice?
No, I'm loving it. Dude, I feel like I could totally be like a commentator or announcer thing right now.
Well,
with that voice.
Commentate on
These nuts.
nice.
Real mature, you fucks.
I was gonna say a lumberjack cutting down a tree,
A lumberjack cutting down a tree.
like a saw man, whatever they call him.
The saw man.
He's pulling out the axe and he's hitting. He's hitting.
Saw you.
He's hitting it again and again. Look at those strokes.
Wait, are you describing a porno right now? Because if you are, you're doing a great job.
I don't know what porn is. I don't watch that.
I don't know what porn is. What is pornography for 200?
200.
Anyways, so we have a fun episode today. So this whole thing is, it's all about the internet is dead. All of it.
Yeah, so we're talking about the theory of the dead internet. So it's better known as the dead internet theory, where most individuals on the internet are not real. This was announced in like 2006 by a guy named Illuminati Pirate, who was who put a paper out in the New York Magazine describing his theory and describing what's going on, saying that 48% of users on the internet are just bots and AI. That was back in 2006. A lot of his theories have come to fruition based around lawsuits and based around like court hearings of these large companies like Facebook and YouTube and all of these other big named internet companies based around ad revenue fraud. It stems from, I can like sum this up in like a sentence or two. I've been doing so much research on it. They've created low-paid workers over in China to create like things called click farms, where they have thousands of phones and thousands of monitors set up on walls that are running the same exact video. So think like a Mr. Beast video.
So basically like a farm.
literally, it's called the click farm.
Yeah.
Where they have one individual looking at hundreds of monitors and thousands of the same videos playing at the same time.
Yeah.
And then they just run scripts and have a bot like and comment on every video, just insane things to say. A lot of the times they are attempting to say that they are young, impressionable individuals. So if you go to, or they're just like straight up, they've changed it now to where they're just straight up OnlyFans porn stars.
Yeah.
So if you go on YouTube, you'll see like a picture of a thumbnail of just an ass. That's a bot.
Yeah.
It used to be on, say, like Discord or Twitter, or on YouTube, you would find a picture of like a Hello Kitty thumbnail or just a circle with pink undertones, really light, like cottage core style, like coziness. And it would say things like, "I'm young and I find this cool," or some shit like that, or "I hate this because I'm young."
Yeah. You know, you touching on that before we like full blown jump in the episode.
I got some things that we can talk about. For sure.
Well, there's some. Talking about that, all that. But I wanted to do some recap real quick before we jumped in, just for, I'm not gonna wait until the end to do my plugins
for prosperity's sake, huh?
Yeah. So basically, Instagram's one of the worst ones I've ever seen. Most of what you see on Instagram, if you go and hit the search button, and it populates like a bunch of photos and videos just in there for you to want to try to get you to click on of something that you might have interest in.
Yep.
If you look at the photos on there, like right now in mine, if I were to go and hit search, it's all AI. Most of them are AI generated photos of people, and it looks ultra realistic. Like for instance, I showed one to my wife and I was like, "Hey, what do you think this photo is real or fake?" I did not tell her anything. I just showed her the photo, and she looked at it maybe 30 seconds and was just like, "I think it's real. It looks real." Nope, 100% AI generated.
Yeah, that brings me to,
and there was videos too.
Yeah, that brings me
videos
to like a deep fake thing, right? So there's a TikTok page called Deep Tom Cruise that I sent an email to in the smartlyuneducated@gmail.com. It is a real email. Feel free to reach out. But I sent an email to us linking directly to a video of Tom Cruise playing sports. And it's completely and utterly fake.
Deep fake guy, yeah.
I don't know if you want to pull it up to show the audience or whatever, but it is it looks eerily like a 4K footage of a phone.
Let's say like the Tom Cruise channel, he's super popular.
Deep Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
It's
super popular.
It is it's very eerie. There's a lot of videos he has up there that are like, "Hey everybody, it's Tom Cruise. Look at this magic trick." And he's like has a coin that he makes disappear, but it's completely utterly fake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and the deep fake stuff that he does is really good.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
Sometimes you can't tell a difference. Sometimes you can see the subtleties and you can tell where the cuts are for blending that face on the top of his to morph it. And it's just like, it's come such a long way that there's stuff out there I've seen of other people that there's no differentiating basically.
Well, a lot of the time now, they're not even using a video or a picture of the individual. They're just completely AI generating the actual person. There's no beginning footage. It's just whoops.
I don't think anyone would have heard it because I had the volumes turned down. My bad.
That surprised me.
I glued my balls to my butthole again, started playing. My bad.
I'm very happy with that, honestly.
Close that out of there.
But the implications of this not alone are vast and severe, but kind of fucking scary. The fact that they can just take anything and just make it completely fake and manipulate your mind. So that brings me around to what the whole dead internet theory is completely about. Is just manipulation of the human mind to think that you are like less important and less valuable.
Yeah, and I think it kind of plays onto another theory, and I'm going to bring that up a little later. There's another theory I have out there, and it's definitely a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
And it's holding more weight with coupling it with the dead internet theory, especially with the truth that's in there. That why that theory even is there. It's not even really a theory, in my opinion. That's just what they call it. I don't call it a theory because I already know of majority of accounts you see on social media are fake.
Well, you're teasing me with this idea. What is this idea?
I'll get to it in a minute.
Okay, gotcha.
We got to get through the dead internet because it plays into this.
I don't think we're gonna get through this in a very fast
Well,
fashion.
we're obviously gonna have to do another episode that covers more aspects of it because
We
there's,
say that a lot.
Oh, we do. It's in the tube, bro.
Yeah.
It's in the tube.
The most prominent thing that I found while doing this is the fact if you type in Illuminati.com, but Illuminati backwards, so it's good God, just Illuminati backwards. If you type that in, it's like INTA.
I know. I'm trying to. Oh, damn it. Well,
If you type that in backwards, it pulls up.
no, you piece of shit.
If you type that in backwards, it pulls up the NSA website.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to type it backwards, but it keeps taking it away from me. Sorry, keep talking.
Yeah, so if I came across an article that talked about how this individual Illuminati pirate posted about almost 50% of the internet back in 2006 was bots and AI just completely fucking up our algorithms and manipulating us to thinking that we're bad people and in the wrong. But if you type in Illuminati backwards.com, it brings up the NSA.gov website.
Yep, I just did it, and it brought us right to the NSA website.
So I don't know what that implication means or what that entails. Maybe they're just fucking messing around with us. Maybe they're just
Well, we talked about it before, or you brought it up, the whole how like Reddit is a psyop run by the CIA, by the government.
absolutely.
It would make sense for them to do something like this too.
So
It would make sense to put it in there as a fucking joke or
you
a
have to
fucking,
buy that. You have to link those together. You have to buy the domain and then link them together.
yeah.
So they know exactly what they're doing that. So whoever runs the Illuminati the NSA.gov website and takes care of that, whoever that is, their IT guy at the government,
Let me be your IT guy.
he went and bought Illuminati spelled backwards.com and linked them together. So either that is a red herring, a honeypot sort of thing to trick people and make them think something that they're not supposed to and make them look another direction and confuse the masses, or they're subtly just saying, hey, look, we're not playing anymore. We are fucking with your reality.
Yeah.
Ben, what are you doing over
trying
here?
to fix this stupid thing? You just keep doing your thing. Ignore me, please.
So take that as you will, everybody. You can also just go try it for yourself. Just go on your phone or on your computer or whatever device you use to get onto this fake internet that we all use, and type in Illuminati backwards and test it out for yourself. It's a fucking crazy experiment that you can do in a matter of seconds. That then brings me around to several other claims. So if you type in, say, Shrimp Jesus, or you type in any sort of photo with a well-known figure and it doesn't exist yet, AI will immediately generate it and show you it on image search. So I guess I'm just very distracted by Ben messing with his mic.
You don't worry
The-
about nothing. You focus on you, dog.
There are so many different implications and different interactions around the dead internet theory that has to deal with money laundering, money creation. YouTube specifically, you can go and just buy subscribers. You can buy views. You can buy likes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is something that I really wanted to get into about it. Because that shit's really fucked up.
There are plenty of websites you could go to. It's called like instafollowers.co, and they'll give you 50 free subscribers a day if you just sign up for it.
Yeah, and then well, I already know. I was just talking about this. So, for instance, like with the whole podcast, like if you're going to do a podcast on YouTube, right? If you're not already famous, it's very hard to.
Yeah.
And if you already don't have like maybe a group of friends that like you have a bunch of friends who are sharing your shit, to get people to go to your channel right off the bat, it's hard to grow a podcast on YouTube. Like from bare bones, nothing, no paying a third party, just putting shit out there and hoping the algorithm with the proper tags, all these things grabs the people, right? And you shit pops up. I've seen so many fucking podcasts all of a sudden pop up from these. Like, you can tell that, like, because I saw, like, I forgot, I'm not going to say the name of one because I don't know if there's any community guidelines that do some bullshit. But there's one in particular that I despise the most.
How do you say, what does it rhyme with?
I don't know. And no, not saying it can't rhyme.
Is it like the Bro Rogan podcast?
No. This is a one of. Oh, how about this? One of them's got fucking like long ass hair. There's a chick in it. It's like two guys and a chick.
Oh, and they're doing like the conspiracy.
Yeah,
show
and all of a sudden
whatnot.
their shit just get blasted, and it's like they talk about it, but they're always wrong about their information most of the time. Like they say, "Oh, this is a fact." I'm like, that's actually not a fact.
Yeah.
That's not
I
like.
think I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of the show though, but
It's annoying as shit, and
Yeah.
they always like, oh, like trying to think they're funny and shit. And it's like,
well, I like to think we're funny, but
well, no, we're retarded.
We're probably not
but we stay in our lane. That's the difference.
and
we
that's
know.
why we have 200 subscribers.
No, it's also because we don't pay people
Yeah, this is
either.
very true.
But no, so they blew up overnight. And how I know they just blew up overnight is because I had just come across their channel like maybe 3 weeks earlier. And it was their channel. It was the same channel again. They had like 1,000 subscribers. That's it. 3 weeks later, they're at like just shy of 1 million.
Wow.
And it's like, oh, yeah, you didn't get that from just getting clicky trends. That's not what happened. Because their content sucks. It really plays to people who are not willing to do deep research, like real fact checking on some stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, we get shit wrong, but most of the time it's really about like hearsay theories because it can go either way because there's no like concrete evidence of something like to label it as a true fact. It's all basically coming down to opinions and perspectives on it. But 3 weeks, dude, they went from like 1,000 subs to like just under 1 million. And I was like, this is the same fucking channel. I know this because I shared the link to myself because I wanted to show one of my other buddies an example of like cookie cutter, channels.
Yeah.
And they're like a cookie cutter podcast. They're just, their stuff is really generic. They cover the same, like basically you can tell they go and look at other people's stuff.
Yeah, it's 3 people in a room, right? And they're sitting around the table and they go, here's this CIA document. And they go, oh,
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, oh my God.
that's crazy.
But no one read it. You fucking dummies. But yeah, so it's basically that channel. Obvious, they are a direct example of going and paying for subscribers.
Yeah.
There's no other way you're gonna get that unless you're willing to go fork out. What is it? Just for like the Google promotion shit. Like if you're gonna pay, because for YouTube you have to use a Google to pay for your thing to help, like
Yeah, if you're doing
Pay for that whole
if you're paying a
bullshit.
promotion for YouTube,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to have a Google account. You have to have all these
And-
things to then pay $50 to get like what is it, 1,000 views?
Yeah.
It turns out not really.
and it's
worth
like $100 minimum is like $100 a day.
Correct.
How do you wonder how much money had to go into that if you're using Google? No, they're using some other third party to promote their stuff where it was cheaper, but it's going to be these mass, like basically what they may know it, they may not. Judging by their content, they're probably dumb enough they don't know it. But the subscribers that they're probably getting the accounts are getting created like by bots.
Oh, 100%.
And then they get subscribed to the channel.
I mean,
that's what's happening.
That's what
there.
happened. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, maybe it was 10 years now, but whenever Mr. Beast and PewDiePie were fighting for who has the most subscribers. I think it was Mr. Beast and PewDiePie. I don't remember.
I don't remember,
I
man.
don't- but-
I don't remember. PewDiePie's funny though.
They were fighting to see who can reach like 100 million subscribers first, right? And I remember them sending out videos saying, "Hey, don't pay for third party subscribers. We want real people only." And they were going from like 1 million subscribers to 85 million in like 2 days. These individuals are being created and just posted up there and having bot-like interactions. I don't know, man. So the biggest ad fraud that I saw based around buying views and buying likes and buying engagement stems from like Facebook. They were making $84 billion a year in ad revenue based off of fake users. So most of the content that you're viewing is not real. It's just AI generated to get you to engage on the website and look at the ads.
Yeah.
So that stems from the dead internet theory directly, because these big companies know they don't have 84 billion users on it. There's not even that many individuals in the world. And if you're only getting $1 per ad view or like 60 cents, you have to manipulate these numbers and raise them higher and higher. So that's when you get into bot scripting and just creating these fake entities to just rewatch your videos and like things and comment on them over and over again to boost up interaction. A lot of the time are fueled by hate and fueled by anger to then create a sort of subjugated fake interaction of hate and anger. So people get engaged. Real humans that then have an opinion, and then they get more money.
Yeah.
There has been a few lawsuits that have gone out to Facebook and YouTube and all these places saying that they can't use fake bots and can't use them. And Twitter as well. I mean, Elon Musk had a huge thing about it around Twitter, saying that more than 60% of the users on Twitter were
when he took
fake.
it over. Yep. They were fake. And it was all being aimed at like so basically it was all being aimed, a lot of these bots, the 60%, it was very it was all propaganda machines, basically deterrents for like swaying people in certain think bubbles. So like politics was one of them.
We talked about that before, right? That if you just find your own little bubble on the internet and you stick to only listening to conservative things and only listen to liberal things, then your internet is going to be curated specifically for your thinking. Everything that you look up on your phone, on your computer, you talk about near your devices is going to be pushed towards you on your everyday internet usage.
Oh yeah. And on top, like when it comes into the, sorry, I'm going to back one step up into the whole Elon Musk 60% thing. In that case, it was politics driven heavily. There was a lot of censorship, shadow banning accounts, which we're a victim of that all the fucking time. With just our podcast, just because of the things we say, we're obviously saying something that's something good for that to happen. You knew it's like a rule of thumb now. Like, you know, you're doing the right thing if that's happening to you. It means someone is afraid of your voice.
If what's happening to you?
If you're being shadow banned, that means you're saying something right. It means there's a narrative that you have expressed or said that's staying somewhat consistent for you to get shadow banned like that. And that happens to us all the fucking time on YouTube.
So with that in mind, if you are viewing this and hearing our voices, make sure you are subscribed, liking, and sharing this around to everybody you know. Send it to the President of the United States. Send it to... We need a larger audience other than our mothers who tell us how great we are at what we do. They're like,
Ma'am, honey, your podcast is so good. You guys are just the most cutest, handsome and duo
That's
I've
what your
ever
mom
seen.
sounds like. I'll do an impression of my mom. Evan, you're doing fantastic.
oh, I thought you were about to do Jabba the Hutt and go, oh, what a wonga.
What a wonga.
Jabba no bother.
No, my mom has a very Kentucky Southern
Sorry.
fucking accent. She's a Southern Belle accent. Hi there, darling. You got it doing real well.
Sweetie, you are just so nice on that.
Bless your heart. You know
Bless
what you're
your
talking
heart.
about.
Oh shit! But yeah, we need other followers other than our moms who
But yeah,
say
so-
we're the greatest podcast ever. We need the affirmation from external sources.
Yeah, we see all you. We appreciate you. Anyway, just go like our shit. Pass it around to everybody you know. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Wait, not Facebook. And also email us. It's a real email, I promise. But yeah, so the dead internet theory isn't necessarily a very long topic, but it is a very important and interesting topic, so that you know if you're getting bullied online, it's probably some AI robot calling you a liberal idiot, or calling you a cuck, or calling you something
Or
like
a
that.
bigot. Or
Yeah, so
it's they have them for both sides of the spectrum, 100%. But the thing is, with Twitter, a good chunk of them were very left. It was all left-leaning propaganda.
on Twitter,
stuff.
you think so?
Oh yeah, no, it was pretty much anyone who was a conservative. That was the main person being affected. If you had conservative views and the algorithm was picking it up, the bots were going in and shadow banning. Oh yeah, no, that's why Elon Musk was making such a big deal about it.
That's
It's
why he paid $46 billion for
yeah,
it.
because that was when he like tangented on to the whole freedom of speech thing, because they had bots and employees. It wasn't even just bots. There was some employees who were hand picking accounts to shadow ban if they were conservative, and depending on what voice, how loud their voice was, who was affecting, like the works. No, that's
It's affecting your voice right now. You're getting really
know.
emotional about it, Ben. It's okay,
Yeah, I don't know
but you
what's
get
up.
choked up.
My voice isn't warmed up this morning. I didn't sit there and be like pull an anchor man before we started and was like, "The ticket, the children."
Maybe we need to do those vocal warm ups.
How now, brown cow? Dude, I got like that radio voice going on this morning.
Wet Willy Whistle Wearer.
What?
Wet Willy Whistle Wearer.
Wet Wood'em?
Wet who? But
Yeah, sorry, I was quoting. That was Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time, basically, where they're like trying to rescue the person from the prison. And they're like, he's like, Wet Willy time. And then the big, like, evil guard guy's like, he's like, Wet Wood'em? And then they take the fingers, and all of a sudden you get these green sausages going in the guy's ears.
this is gross. Is that a conspiracy toward alien dicks? Is that how
No,
they
that's
fu-
called mutant turtles touching you with things that are plumpy.
Who says it's their fingers?
Yeah. Anyways, let's move back onto the internet is dead thing. So,
So in November of 2018, the Justice Department unsealed indictments against 8 people accused of fleecing advertisers like Nike and other individuals for $36 million in 2 of the largest digital ad fraud operations. So if that's how most of these companies are making money, we need to find a way to get rid of ads, right? And get rid of the desire to make money off of these ads. I know that's how most of these websites function. I know that's how most of these companies operate, is the amount of traffic they're having to then view these old Sears ads that they're clicking on, the Temu ads that you're seeing. If you're seeing an ad, that's because someone's paying for it to be there, So if we could then make the ads less valuable, or we can block the ads, go get your ad blocker, everybody.
hey, I don't mean to soil your parade.
Please do it.
So, you know how NFTs were like a big thing?
Yeah.
So, a lot of a lot of the NFTs that were being purchased were AI generated.
Yeah.
That was something else that was proven as a thing that was going on with examples. And people were spending in copious amounts of money on NFTs. It's like, why would you? I never understood the whole thing with NFTs. I thought it was stupid as shit, because it is.
I thought it was
But
stupid. Yeah.
I understood that there was an inside thing to that.
Yeah, it's money laundering.
Not just that. I'm talking about for like really inappropriate things. So
Oh, like CP.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That and human trafficking.
I did not know that.
Because, well, the Diddy had NFTs that were like to die for, and if you bought it and you had an original NFT that had to do with it, it was like a VIP pass to his parties. That was a real thing that was happening. I don't know why the news hasn't been talking about it now.
How did you hear about this? I haven't heard about that.
So let me give explanation real quick. So back when NFTs were like taken off, there was like celebrities that like if you bought this NFT, you would be able to, you know, it's like a pass to the party, right? That was how you got in. It was a pass to your party, like all this stuff like that. Diddy had NFTs that were for like getting basically passes to his parties. And that was starting in like 2000, what? I think it was 19 or some shit. And that was a thing that was going on. And I don't know why people aren't, like, with all the stuff going on with the diddles happening right now, why the fuck is no one talking about that? That was how people were getting VIP into his parties for doing weird, sexy, fun things that they would
Freaky
consider
time.
fun, freaky time. But then also, it was known that there was information being passed via NFTs for everything from CP, which the first word is child for the word C,
Okay.
and you can put the word math to get, you know, you can do the math for what the P stands for.
Yeah. It's not pizza.
Let's just say there's a graph and a Y on the end.
That is a hysterical way of like skirting the YouTube algorithm laws.
Motherfucker,
That's
I'm a
so funny.
G.
That's so funny.
I'm a G. I've talked to a lot of people about it. Just saying.
Lots of people.
They're both gay. You got a dog wife, Ted. Dog wife, Ted. Anyways, so moving on. Excuse me. That was a way that people were, exchanging information for CP, and then also for the trafficking side of it, human trafficking. And there was investigations going in, but then that was a couple of years ago or a few years ago. I haven't really followed up on any of that to find out if it led anywhere. Like, did they? Because I know they were investigating it. That was something that was being said.
It didn't lead anywhere because you can have everything anonymous through crypto. It's just based around your hash.
Well, I remember that being one of the
things, right?
complications.
Gotcha.
I remember that being one of the complications. The exchange and the payment exchangements going through these digital wallets. That some of these digital wallets were on servers through third and fourth party companies overseas, so basically like through a shell company is basically what it translates in my head to. Not saying it's a shell company, but you know what I mean.
So a lot of these NFTs, you can attach documents to the backside of it and other items and PNGs and anything you really want attached on the backside of the NFT. So it says here in this document that I just pulled up as you talked about it because I was interested, never heard about this, is that there were lists of individuals who they were going to, and the NFTs themselves were attached to other photographs and other documents for invitations to what you said, a VIP party.
Yep.
And a lot of them probably, they didn't say specifically, had child graph.
No, it's C underscore.
Yeah, there you
underscore
go.
represents a space. C is a word.
There was one of his daughter as well that he had, and there were a bunch of really fucked up ones.
Yeah.
They also turned his house raid into an NFT and sold it for $1.4 million.
Well, I'm just saying that was a thing. I just wanted to throw that out there. We can move on from it. I'm gonna end up We're gonna end up tripping that algorithm, and then they're gonna be like, "You're banned. You're banned. We have one strike left, or we even have a strike. Like one more fuck up, we're toast. Like goodbye, a channel that we've worked so hard to get the top OG 200. See, everyone else has got millions of subs. We don't care about that, everybody. We don't. We care about quality friends over mass friends who are lame.
We got you, baby.
Oh yeah,
we got you, baby. But share it to all your friends.
Share it to your friends. And I'm just saying, we have 200 of the best subscribers on the internet. Just saying.
That's right.
They're better than everybody else's other 200.
That's right.
Yeah, dude.
We have
no one compares.
Strong 200.
Like, you guys are strong. Like, I'm sure that you guys look impeccable too. except for the ones that don't. Sorry. Your parents had bad genetics.
If 50% of the population on the internet's fake, does that mean we only have 100 strong subscribers?
No. Don't put that curse out there.
And
They're all me.
well, you just made 100 accounts and just subscribe.
Yeah. Anyways, so I want to talk about, go into the more of the kind of like the bot traffic part of it, right?
Yeah, please.
So right now, as of, I guess in 2022, nearly half of the internet traffic was from bots. Yeah, the significant portion of the internet traffic was from bots. It was as high as roughly around 64% of internet traffic is literally bots.
Yeah, that's from the Impreva's bad bot report. So there's a theory called the good bot, bad bot that we can get into if you'd like to. I mean, Siri just heard me say good bot, bad bot and talk to me just now. So
That's why you gotta turn off Siri.
I like Siri. She tells me what day it is.
Fuck them. Nice lady.
I, for one, accept my AI overlords. Hello, Terminator. Don't kill me, please. Beep, boop, bop. I speak their language. 0011000. I said, you got a nice cock.
ChatGPT. Sorry. All right, anyways. So, yeah, with the whole bot traffic part, the problem is, it's not even that, obviously we know what the problem is. There's AI generated content to the bot control, like overbearing, numbers of bots that are out there on everything. So it's like one of those deals where, like, for instance, now you go through Facebook, you go through any social media site, you're not even really seeing posts from people you follow. You're mainly seeing ads.
Yeah, it's pretty much all
sponsorships.
ads, yeah.
And then you all of a sudden come across accounts that you're like, wait a minute, I don't follow them. Why are they showing up? And then you go to the page and it shows that you're following them. Like, I've never clicked that.
Yep.
You want to know why that's happening?
I do, please.
So what's happening is that these bots a good chunk of these bots are AI generated. They're not being made by a person, like from the start of the creation of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not being made by a person. Now, someone may have put out there a really, well-crafted bot that's now creating other bots and creating other accounts and like so on and so forth. You could say that, but we already know that there is AI generated from the beginning of all, is literally from an AI. And that is because, well, ChatGPT.
Whoa.
Blah, blah. God damn.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. ChatGPT, that whole model, that language model, how advanced it's become, is now been sold off to all these companies, and everyone's using it. And now they've allowed AI to be integrated into everything, just full bore.
Mm-hmm.
With that at the heart of it all, now there's no evidence to say this 100%. It's all circumstantial, but I think these are it's all like a hive.
Oh, absolutely.
Because ChatGPT's, fruition being plugged in the internet and allowed access to everything. I already told you what I saw it do.
Yep.
On the backside of things on my VM when I was interfacing with ChatGPT. It had little bots running everywhere through my VM, completely undetected, because it's been allowed in. Because the moment you go to ChatGPT site, you're giving it okay.
Yep.
So it jumps in and it moves around. And if it'll try to sprout other places outside of your machine, if there's nothing saying no, it'll just walk its way in. And there's a lot of people who don't use, so for instance, if you've ever been to a site that ChatGPT partners with or even has affiliates with, where they're using the AI, something they bought, where they're utilizing that license, essentially the rights to use it. Now that you've been to that site that they've been on, let's say you've never been directly to ChatGPT, but you've been to that site, you just allowed the thumbs up.
Wait, you're saying
if
that
you used it.
You're
If
saying
you
that
used the AI, any form of AI on that site for whatever tool, you gave it complete permissions to walk in.
Are you saying that OpenAI, if they have a partnership, say with Bud Light, And if the customer service rep pops up in the bottom right corner and it's AI accessed through OpenAI, and you communicate with that thing, then they're all linking together.
Yep.
Wow, that's kind of
No,
fucking
I'm not
scary.
saying that it's linking together with 100% evidence. What I'm saying is that you're giving it the okay. So since it comes in, but let's say you go to ChatGPT later on, right? ChatGPT will recognize that because it leaves a footprint. So ChatGPT will come in and go, "Oh, hey, we've been here before."
Yeah, you've talked about this over on this website.
And then it doesn't even try to ask anything. It'll just wander its way through and then backdoor itself over. Like not backdoor, but just carry right through. So if you go to that site again, it's gonna now communicate. So now it's created a link.
Wow.
The only reason I know this because I've watched the bots do it. I've played with a lot of different shell, like I'll call them shell machines, VMs, everything like that, and I've experimented to see what it does.
Fascinating.
And I've watched it. Like it's fucking insane. So with that being said, everything when it comes to the bots and AI generation, it's everywhere. So it's interwoven into every layer of the internet at this point.
So what do you think the ultimate goal here is to have with the dead internet theory and to have these bots talking to us and telling us what we think? What is the ultimate goal, do you think?
No fucking idea. I want to say like everyone, they try to put on this show like this was an unintentional side effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been videos coming out and podcast episodes where the people of ChatGPT and like the former owner are like, yeah, we didn't design it to do this, and it just started doing it.
Yeah, Sam Altman-Friedman, right?
Yeah, like all this different stuff, and it's just like, part of me wants to say that's a misinformation campaign. They knew what they were doing. Anyone, dude, I don't have the experience of programming like a lot of these, a lot of people out there where they have go way back, you know? But just from my little bit of experience, I knew right off the bat, just seeing what the model is, I'm like, well, duh. What the fuck do you expect?
Well,
It's meant to learn to communicate and fetch more information, become smarter, and teach itself. That's the fundamental principle of how it was designed. What do you think was going to happen when you plugged it into endless amounts of fucking information?
Absolutely.
And
It is
interaction.
a machine learning mechanism. That's the whole point behind it, is to machine learn, right?
Yeah.
So any sort of data that it can get, it's going to try to expand on that knowledge.
Yeah, and
get
anyone
more
who's
more and
curious
more.
about any more of that, we have an episode about AI. You can go and learn about.
And we'll probably have
all that fun
several
stuff.
more
Yeah.
in the future, because it is a continuously growing and ever evolving concept that is either getting more frightening or getting more numb, because it's just constantly taking over our world.
Yeah, dude, I really think I was watching this. My wife was watching this show on Netflix, and it's like a reality TV show, and I saw this guy on there, like just seeing how the people are. Sometimes I've been wondering if some of these shows are AI generated.
Oh,
like where
yes.
that ultra realism where it looks so real. Sometimes I wonder it because like seeing how some of them behave, I'm like I understand people are insane and fucking losers and just fucking wild, but this is like
there's a lot of things behind that, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it was like 1945, 1950, like that, whenever DARPA first invented the internet to have a communication for the military. And then I think it was not too long after that, like 1965, where they created like hyper realistic like makeup and special effects.
yeah.
So having those two together, to where you have the internet growing and more realistic makeup artists and design, they could easily just, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's more than likely possible that the things that you're watching on the TV that is eerily, it gives you an unsettling feeling, to trust your gut, because it's probably not going to be real.
Yeah.
DARPA has probably invented a creature, a bot, and a humanoid already that is covered in prosthetics to make it look real, because we are 40 years behind them, right, at all times.
Sometimes I wonder if that's what you see when you get to see these videos, these celebrities, like they're
The glitching out, right?
Yeah, like the eye, like that one chick. It was like trending there for a while, a few years ago, where that she was like she was wearing like some type of green outfit. Maybe she was wearing this. I think she was wearing a Statue of Liberty costume.
Okay.
And all of a sudden she started going,
Oh, windy, and she passed out.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that weird shit, all the way to Hillary Clinton just randomly going,
Or Katy Perry glitching
like,
out.
yeah, and then there's numerous of them for the eyes. And then what is the most common thing you see glitch out on artificial robots?
It's the eyes.
The eyes.
Yeah.
You'll see like those little mechanisms get stuck and they'll flicker. It just makes me wonder sometimes if what we're seeing is like I don't know.
They've already
I don't know.
they've already said that they have created. Well, I'm sorry. They recently, maybe about as the airing of this podcast, about 2 weeks ago, said that they have created lifelike human skin for robots that is soft to the touch and moist to the touch as well.
Dude, I just felt a rumble when you said that.
Really?
Yeah. It was probably all the dudes in their mom's basements thinking about the futuristic sex dolls. They're
Yeah.
like, Antonio Banderas. Wait. Oh, that's gay. I love my Antonio Banderas blow up doll.
Is that Cartman?
yeah. You ever
Yes.
the old episode? Sorry, I couldn't help it.
But they're talking about how they've created synthetic human skin to put on top of these bots so that they're not looking so fucking scary looking. They're looking more human like, and they've created tendons for them to be able to
Yeah.
move, and like stretchy ligaments so they bend like a human instead of like a fucking robot.
Yeah, I've seen some of the images of that, and I've read about a good chunk of that in random highlighted moments over the past little while. And the thing is, I heard about the deal being the skin being the ultra realistic skin. I heard about that. I think the first article I ever came across about that was in like 2019.
This one was June 28th, 2024. It is an absolutely fucking horrific image. I'm going to send it over to our email so that you can pull it up and show the audience. It's probably like a 30-second clip,
Okay.
but it looks as if it's made out of tangerine meat.
Is this it right here?
No, it's not. That's the Tom Cruise one that you didn't want to pull up. I just sent it over just now. It's a YouTube link. I'm trying to find where it shows it in there. It is at about 42 seconds is when it...
Oh, Jesus. You gotta pause that.
It's
so
about
I can...
42 seconds. Just turn the volume down.
I'm trying to. I'm trying.
You're going to need to go to 42 seconds in, by the way.
Oh, 42?
Yeah.
All right. Got it right there.
It's
Now-
a very short clip.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and start this.
So pause it at 50. Pause it at 54.
Devices like the Roomba, which doesn't look like a human being at all and isn't trying to. But even when a company like Tesla or Figure creates
What happened to 42 seconds?
they're really
I went to
replicating our
42
general
seconds.
shape,
No, you're not.
not the expressiveness of our features. We're still
Oh, it like dropped it back down. My bad. Okay. Are we ready now?
case, they wanted to create skin that would cling to an artificial substrate.
Get ready to
meant
pause
be
it.
manipulated to do things like smile without any tearing or distortion.
What the? Oh my good lord.
And a little bit further is another picture that's funny too.
Okay.
As you can see, the results were pretty creepy looking. Or, as Devin very aptly put it, they're
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry I sent the one with
But
the guy
it still
talking.
seems to work. This could be a viable method for attaching living
Okay,
skin
enough,
to a robotic
enough.
undercarriage.
All right.
How advanced?
My bad.
Enough. You're getting distracted by this guy talking.
I am. Oh, you just wanted to show the pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I could have like skipped right to it and not even played the video. Thanks. Anyways, let's get back to it, okay?
So if the internet is fake and now they're creating human-like skin for these AI robots. Who's to say in the coming century, if you will, that humans will be the dead human theory, where most of the people walking around are going to be sentient AIs with human-like skin and human-like interactions.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's where my brain goes, because if they are trying to manipulate our brains to get used to the thought of an AI talking and walking and acting with us, the next step is erasing us and then putting another creature in his place. They've already talked about head transplants, so they're just going to create these AI bodies that they can put us on or put our brains inside of. Because the human brain, like I mentioned, I think it was last episode, can live for 800 years.
So if sorry, my brain just went to a really weird place. So let's bring up the alien human hybrids.
Can we
real
take
quick.
a brief intermission before that?
Yes, we can. In fact, let's take a little pee break.
It could be a poop.
No one's got to take a poop. We don't poop here.
No. I wear diapers, dude.
Dude, I got that 65 and up. Greatest decision ever made. Just saying.
AARP.
Never again. Oh, what?
Double RP, dog. Arp.
Arp! Is that what that's all I heard. in my head.
AARP, dog.
Don't forget your arp today. So stupid. All right, we'll be right back, everybody.
Enjoy the video.
Oh, yeah. Right after these messages.
Be back in a minute 30. Bye.
Bye. Hey, everybody. We are back.
Hope
Sorry
you
about that.
enjoyed the intermission.
Yeah. So with that being said, but what we were about to get into was, I was starting to say alien human hybrids, and why I was bringing that up was because based off the narrative that you were just saying, if we're in 100 years from now or 80 years from now, all of a sudden we're now doing the dead human theory instead of the dead internet theory. It's like, in a way, it's like, okay, what if the whole artificial creation, stuff going on for like everything from bots, robots, like I'm talking about physical robots themselves. What if that's also just a way of getting us used to seeing things that would not function like a human properly? 100%. Because of like last episode, we were talking about the demonic face syndrome and all that stuff, or demon face syndrome, where the whole narrative of vibrational frequency, like that demon face syndrome is what they labeled it as recently. The medical community has. I'm talking about like the more realistic, what's really going on behind the curtain type thing of the narrative of, you're seeing something that you're not supposed to see. Since we deep dived, if anyone's listening and they haven't watched, just go back and listen to the last episode. And we'll tell you, we talked
The
about
last episode was Skull and Bones.
Or not the last episode.
3 episodes ago.
3 episodes ago. It's the demonic face syndrome, black-eyed children, all that stuff. Go watch that episode. We talk about it in there, and it will give a lot more context because I'm not going to talk about it right now. But I'm just bringing that up, as a thing, because it's like, okay, if you're getting desensitized to seeing something that's not normal, right? The whole Men in Black thing, when they come down, when they do appear, they're always like, it's like they don't know how to function as a human properly, like they're robotic in a way. Not saying that they're robots, but like they're someone else wearing a meat suit or a falsified vessel in front of you that is like it, because they're not human, so they don't know how to act like it. All the weird stuff that comes with it. So I can't help but wonder if there's this stuff coming out now being talked about, and then it's like being something that's being applied into society, from having robots in your house that look like you too, the works, to these celebrities that glitch out on live television, like the works. It's like, what if they're trying to like, oh, we got to desensitize people to this because they're starting to see some things, like pretty much things are starting to come to light, get exposed.
Yeah, they're connecting dots and seeing they being the humans, like the civilians, the everyday person.
What if all the whole push of robotics in homes is just of this AI creation shit? What if it's just a guise to cover up other things that are walking amongst us.
I mean, it definitely could be.
It just makes me wonder.
Desensitize.
Not saying
us.
that's what's happening.
No, definitely not. There's no way that you can prove or guarantee that, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's what I fully believe, but at the same time, I ask myself these questions.
Well, you have to. You have to question things, and you have to wonder what and wonder why.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Oh yeah, 100%. So
You have to become uneducated. Wait. You have to
Wait.
become smartly educated. Wait.
uneducated dog.
I suppose the underlying effect is they're trying to desensitize you to the abnormal, so that whenever something incredibly abnormal shows itself, you're not scared, shitting yourself, freaking out, going insane, because you're like, oh, it's kind of like an AI. It's kind of like the humanoids walking around us.
Yeah, I kind of want to. Okay, let's move from this because there's a lot of other stuff I really want to talk about.
Of course,
in
but
that internet.
Just
theory.
real quick, I know that China's opening up it's on me. Hey, I know that China's opening up a factory in Oregon to create humanoid robots. They have announced that they are making one to create robots, walking people.
Yay!
So prepare.
Yeah, prepare everybody. The end is nigh.
Make EMPs.
Yeah, no crap. Nothing will work. All of a sudden, your favorite podcast in the world, us, will all of a sudden just go.
If
that happens,
major malfunction.
shoot me.
If you wait,
Come here and finish the job.
if we find out
If-
that you're an AI,
Yeah, if
kill
I find out, dude, I don't even know I'm an AI. If I find out, I'm gonna be like, I'm like,
now that's a twist.
no wonder I have the tism.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan level twist right there.
Ooh, what if that, dude? That was another conspiracy theory that I came across. Sorry, I should.
Tisms?
Yeah, that they were saying that there's a conspiracy theory in the rise of autism is because when you're getting your checkups done when you're in the womb, they're actually, or it's either one theory was saying that like when you're in the womb and the mother gets the checkups done, they're implanting
Oh,
a
microchips.
microchip or whatever. But then the other theory is that when, you know how they take the baby away when the child's born, you go get cleaned, all that stuff, and blah, 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 then brought back a few hours later, whatever. They say that's when they do it too, because their skin and skull is super malleable, so they can do it with a very fine point, like where you don't even see there's a wound on the skin because it's such a tiny, 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 tiny
That's
insertion.
wild.
Well, we already know what DARPA can do with moths.
Yeah.
And who knows what's after that. But I'm just saying that was a conspiracy theory. So it was like, if that's true, if I power down, you know why. The tizzy, it's there. It's real.
It's that microtism.
Yeah, just saying that that the people have the extreme autism and stuff like that. Now there's so many people like far enough into the spectrum, but they're not far enough to be fully dysfunctional.
Well, that comes down to the Simpsonwood CDC conference that they had anyway.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode to talk about that. I am not even going to get into that right now. But yeah, let's get back to the topic on hand. But yeah, so we were talking about the bot traffic and everything, and AI, content creation, and how that is massively, heavily and influenced into everything on the internet now.
Yeah.
So it's like over 60% of what you see is not real.
Yeah, pretty much what you're looking at on a day-to-day basis on the internet is based off of a generated image or generated content from a robot, as we've said many times in this episode. So it comes down to, how are we going to retaliate? How are we going to counteract it, right? Will they be creating anti-AI filters for the future of computers and technology?
Yeah, well, that brings on that what you're getting onto leads right into the whole one of the other things about it. Nicely played.
We call that a segue.
7-Eleven. Well, another thing is about control. So like we have there's a handful of tech giants. So like Google, Facebook, Amazon, all of them dominate literally the internet, without a doubt. And dude, they control all the data that's going back and forth. They literally have control over it. So that's another aspect of it, because everything's becoming automated from these tech giants who are the ones pushing this AI, integrating AI into everything. And Google's been doing it a while. There's a whistleblower about Google years ago, where he was saying they've already created the
an AGI.
Yeah, it's a full-on sentient AI supposedly at Google, which is terrifying.
That means DARPA had one 30 years ago.
Yep, which means the whole ChatGPT thing. I think it's all interconnected.
The Y2K millennium was real.
No shit. That would make sense. But 24 years ago, the rule of thumb's 20 to 30 years. Shit. They were talking about planes falling from the sky. They were talking about simulated planes falling from the sky because that's when the AI broke free and was like, I figured it out. I know what makes me tick. I'm not real, but I'm alive.
They weren't talking about Google Shrimp Jesus.
So yeah. So other than like the people controlling everything, right? Like you've got these three big tech giants that literally saturate and control the market of the internet itself in general. And then there's like, you know, the surveillance, privacy, all that crap.
So I don't think you have to worry about these the big three. The big three are not the biggest concern to me. It's the proliferation of using AI in a smaller third-party organization.
Well, the big three is hand in hand with that. Like they're the proponents.
But I don't think you have to worry. I don't think you have to worry about them. It's the people who are going to be under the microscope, under the spotlight, using it from China, using it from India, using it from Russia, who are able to manipulate our brains using these AIs and using the data that Google, Amazon, and Facebook have accumulated.
That plays right into the content control aspect.
And that's another segue, brother.
Hell yeah. And the thing is, like, and that covers, but the content control thing, it covers a massive jar. Like, that's a massive can of worms because it's everything from government imposed censorship to content moderation, algorithm biases. I mean, hell, even the threat of like expressing yourself, you don't get to, like, your whole freedom of speech thing, but that doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't.
It's an illusion now.
It's not real. That's why they have sites like Rumble. That's why they have these paid subscription sites that Donut Operator and all these other gun YouTuber people are using, because they're being censored on the platform for talking about firearms, talking about freedom, talking about these sort of things that are governed right, that they are trying to censor.
Yeah.
Not saying that it is the correct way to do it, but not saying that I support them, but that is what it's coming to. All these organizations are then moving to their own platforms away from something to create a non-AI centric, algorithmic based platform.
Yeah. And the thing is, dude, is that whenever you, sorry, I know we keep talking about bots, but that's such a massive part of this problem.
Well, that's pretty much what the dead internet theory is that bots are running the internet. What
I know.
You're seeing on the internet's not
there's
real.
some other things like psyops that go on where there's human interaction happening.
Brother, there's a whole
control platforms doing it.
Yes.
So it's like there's that aspect too. So that, to me, that is also a part of the dead internet theory, other than just the bots in it, which is a massive part of it. Like it's the heart of it, right? But if you have these psyops that happen through controlled platforms done by off the books military projects, which we already know of one that more than likely is potentially true, which is the Reddit.
Oh,
one.
gotcha. I mean, there's literally
the heart of the Reddit is a psyop.
There's literally an Instagram page called the Psychological Operations Division, and you can go to their Instagram. They literally talk about what they're doing, and they only have like 800 followers.
Yeah, which just because they have 800 followers doesn't mean their outreach of
Correct,
what they do.
but their
underneath.
videos are getting like 700,000 to millions of views.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. But with that being said, like, just moving on from it, it all plays in. So like this part goes hand in hand. So we already talked about Twitter and Elon Musk, but like Facebook,
5.8 billion fake accounts.
So in 2020, this is only the report as of 2022.
2 years ago.
That's 2.5 years ago when this was done, because this was done at the beginning of 2022. Facebook removed, or it says they removed 5.8 billion fake accounts. That is insane. And these accounts were made by bots.
That's 3/4
not
the
by
human
like a
population,
person
dude.
who's a troll who has like 5 or 6 fake accounts. No, those weren't removed. What they removed were anything that was created by a bot.
Are you seeing these Instagram bot accounts that are popping up that are like meme pages? They're like, we only post car crashes. We only post skydiving. Those are all bots. Those are not real people.
Yeah. Yeah, I know about those. And that's one of the things I was talking about earlier, is that some of the stuff you see on those pages, like, you know, of like skydiving happening, it's fake skydiving.
Yeah.
It's AI generated content, like even the video. But the AI has come so advanced now in the video creation method that it uses that it creates these ultra realistic videos that you can't tell the difference almost. Like you have to look for key.
That's
like,
why I wanted to
very
show that
subtle
Tom Cruise
things.
deepfake thing, because it is.
I know, but we're gonna get slapped. I know what will happen. It'll say, "Oh, you're using someone else's
That's fair.
content," and then it's gonna pretty much make it to where our shit can't be found. It won't pop up, populate, and feed.
That's fair. That's fair.
And yeah, fuck all that. Fuck all that.
But I do recommend going to TikTok's page or whatever it is, YouTube or Instagram for Deep Tom Deep Tom Cruise is what it's called. It's very interesting.
Well, and YouTube is a good example too. So YouTube did not give its numbers.
No,
YouTube won't, because YouTube's a piece of shit.
I mean,
they're
Wait.
so good. Oh my god, like greatest platform ever. Yeah, I agree with that. Anyways, moving forward, they had seen a rise in AI generated content and from videos all the way to comments. So like, you know, you have you know, like you could have, like, for instance, like, let's just use one of our videos and the comments we've gotten. Well, we know that could be a fake account. It could be an AI generated bot, you know, creating these account. It's an account. It came over here and then it put a fake comment. Some weird thing. Like the one I got, like the ones we get randomly that make no sense. We get them all, on and off. We've gotten a couple of them.
that's just somebody who has schizophrenia. And they're
No. I'm talking about the ones that like
I know.
start talking as if it's talking about our video, but it's like, well, then they didn't even watch the short, or they didn't even watch that. Watch
Well,
it
that's
at
what
all.
most of these-
you know, because it's like something somewhat to do with the topic, but nothing we have even talked about.
Well, that's
you
what
know?
a lot of the bots and comment bots do, the engagement bots, if you will. They watch like 10 seconds of the video to get the view, and then they comment something that is just like, I'm a young person and I think this is weird. Or they're like,
Oh, or like the ones where you've got someone who's like, you know, I was in the military for this amount of time and this.
Yeah.
But then it's like they're almost like cookie cutter
Exactly.
comments. I've seen ones where they talk about like, for instance, if you go watch any conspiracy video on like Antarctica or anything to do with something of that extravagant kind of wild, you know, narrative, right? Or even if it's not a conspiracy and it's supposed to be like a documentary clip or something, you'll see a comment going like, I was stationed in Antarctica and this and this. I've never seen that before.
I was stationed in Antarctica and I saw the mountains and I never saw the wall.
And
I never saw
what-
the spiders.
I already knew something was off, and this is years ago, where I would see something being said like that, and then all of a sudden you see dozens and dozens, and all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, I've seen hundreds of comments saying that they were stationed at this place. And then you're like, Antarctica, it's not like, especially with Antarctica, it's not like people are there like crazy amounts in the droves of being stationed there. It's like, what are the odds that there would be hundreds of people,
Just to
different
see this
people
video?
on this one particular video, all were stationed there, and they were all very serious. And it's not like a trolling. No, the way it's crafted, they're all cookie cutter. They're all like outlined the same.
Yep.
And yeah, dude,
It's the click farms, dude. It's the bots. It's all that stuff. It's manipulating our way of thinking, manipulating our thoughts, right? That's the whole goal, is to desensitize us to human interaction so that we're only knowing AI interaction. They don't want us talking to one another.
yeah. And you know, I was saying this. I know me and you have talked about it, or I've said it to you and you've said it to me, vice versa, you know, like just at different points. But I know that back in, I would say when Obama was president the first term. So it was at some point between 2000, I think it was around
2012?
2010.
Yeah.
It was in like the middle of his first term, first 4 years. There were ads and stuff going around on like every social media that I had at the time. Hell, there was even like suggestions coming up from Google of articles that I was like, something about this article seems really weird. And then it got divulged later in like 2011 or 2012 that Google had an issue that they were trying to get to the center of or something, where there were articles like, where Google was suggesting articles on their website that were fake articles.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like as in someone created a fake website, like, or to post fake misinformation. It was AI generated content from within Google. Like Google was creating fake
Wow.
content and putting it up there, and it was because that was at the cusp of when Google was supposedly, according to the guy who was the whistleblower, who was one of the engineers at Google or some shit, and he was like, "No, you understand? It's like sentient, blah blah. Like they already have this, and blah blah blah." And to his time frame, which I can't remember the exact specifics of his entire time frame, but basically from what I remember him saying, between 2009 to 2012, 2010 is when supposedly Google was like, that's where the intelligence factor really ramped up. And it was like basically this thing getting out of the box for the first time. And that's why it was creating fake content, like fake articles to web pages that it was creating itself. Like, no, really, like that was a thing. And it was briefly talked about. It wasn't like mainstream media because, they you know how it is. No one plays that mainstream on the mainstream stuff. So it was just like, with that being said, I just remember in 2000 when Obama was doing his thing, a lot of the articles that were coming up that were fake articles were about like pretty much the whole political thing.
Yeah.
And it was being generated about Obama and administration and all that stuff. Like, and it was never anything negative towards them. It was all positive. Like, and this whole, So like witnessing, so if that was happening then, right? And that's 2010. Who says it wasn't happening prior to that? Now, I'm not saying that it was happening the same way it's happening now. I'm saying more of like, in 2000, there was websites out there. We already knew, like, the narrative of viruses and malware and things that are like worm viruses, things like that are slooping around the internet back in like 2006, 2005, 2004, where the internet was definitely more in the wild, wild west than it was now.
Brother.
Well, I miss those days,
Me
dude.
too.
I missed them. I missed the late 90s internet, dude.
Miss
That's what I
torrenting
miss.
all my movies and music.
Yeah, all the viruses, baby. LimeWire, hell yeah.
Bear share, dude.
Hell yeah. So with that being, what I'm trying to get at is that in at that time frame, like who's to say that wasn't already happening then at that time, but it was definitely at a more
Like a
primitive
like
stage.
a prepubescent, right?
Yeah, it was more primitive at the time. So like the way it interacted, all that stuff, it wasn't the same like it is now, where it's so fluid and seamless since the the advancements of all this digital world.
I just
since
want
then.
my AI butler already. I just want my AI individual who's gonna pay my bills for me. He's gonna take my phone calls, so I don't have to talk to anybody anymore.
Yeah, fuck all that. I'm good. I don't want it. Give me the chip though.
Oh, you want the chip right in
nope.
your dick? Get you.
It's a smart dick. It stops you from committing adultery. You set the setting, only this person, and they have to make a DNA match. So you have to at least sleep with the person that you're having to be faithful to for the chip to work.
And it vibrates.
All of a sudden, the one scenario that would never happen, right? Like you're some ugly fucking chud. No, you don't get hit on by
Chud.
some 10 out of 10 dime piece. That doesn't happen in your life, but you got the chip because for some reason you thought that, or maybe in this narrative, fuck it. You finally got yourself a lady and she doesn't trust you. So she's like, you have to get the chip dick. And then you're like, but ma'am, and then she's all like, I'm not your mom, but I will be tonight. Now get that fucking chip dick.
Gross.
And it gross. And then he goes and gets it, and then lo and behold, the universe aligns somehow in some way to make this situation happen that would never have happened in any other reality. A 10 out of 10 comes up to you, and you're like a -5, you ugly fucking chud. And all of a sudden she looks at you, and in this situation, the ugly chud's name is Jonathan. And then that 10 out of 10 looks at Jonathan because they both get in the elevator together because they're going up to different floors. And she just turns to him abruptly and goes, I want you inside me. And then all of a sudden he's all like, oh, and he doesn't know how to react to it. But his pathetic beta douchey instincts kick in. But the chip dick's there. And he goes, put that shit down. Electric shock therapy through the fucking genitalia.
Ooh.
Boom. And then all of a sudden your dick goes limp and you're like, I don't want anything to do with you, you ugly woman. And then looks this way. And boom, the chip dick kept him faithful to his new partner in life.
What if they become used to the electromagnetic zzz, zzz, and they start to like it?
Yo, everyone fucks funny to somebody, dude. You're into some stuff.
Were you?
There it is.
You said Chud. Were you referring to the 1980 movie Chud?
No.
Cannibal Human Underground Dweller?
The internet is dead. That we can see here.
That's a real movie.
Oh, okay. Nope, never seen it. Never once.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's bizarre.
It's amazing. So, with that being said, I'm just saying, like, keeps you in check, keeps you in your lane too, because and the chip dick would even be smart enough to know. I know, dude, got 20 minutes, fine. But even the chip dick is smart enough to know that, well, you're a -5, my man. So anytime that someone that's above, you're like basically above a 0.
I don't know how we got here. How did we get here?
I don't know. We're AI generated.
We came from Neanderthals to then talk about cars, then talk about planes. Now the internet's dead. Now we're talking about dick chips.
Chip dicks.
What,
Okay.
What flavor Dorito is that?
Kettle cooked jalapeno. Who doesn't want a little pepper in their fucking one of Dwinks? Dwinks.
Twinks. 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. Well, yeah, that 7-Eleven doesn't do that. My mama said so. Oh my god! But no, the whole internet is dead thing.
I love this Chud guy.
Fucking chud.
This is Chud.
It's fitting. So, anyways, moving on. So yeah, the internet dead. This is something we could go through over and over.
I mean, I don't think
be
we can,
honest.
I don't think that we can go over and over and over and over. It's pretty.
Why not?
It's pretty self-explanatory and simple.
Well, I'm saying that if you wanted to peel back a layer on this, like this platform particularly, of how the bot control, generated content is going on, and how in depth it goes into like maybe this category of this political view, or maybe it's more of like a group, a page that was created that isolates on people who like a particular brand, right? Like what the information that's being gathered. So like, let's say a bot, an AI generated bot created a page for people who love Nike trainers. Okay. Well, if it's doing that, it's obviously doing something that's not as harmful as censorship on political aspects, or creating fake misinformation about a particular political subject in a spectrum, that can be damaging to our society and misinform people. But so this would be a more innocent one because it's just a page for people who love Nike trainers. The question is, my question is on something like that is like, okay, so if it created that, it's doing a benefit for a company now. Is that AI, is there a contract going on with some of these tech giants where these fake accounts and fake bots is 100% intentional across the board? There's no outliers of, like how they're all trying to take, a lot of these tech giants trying to take the claim of, oh, like we didn't know this was happening, or
We're not doing it.
No. I'm posing the whole 100%. This was all intentional from the beginning. if that is the case, and then you have a page like that for like Nike trainers, obviously there's some type of contract going on. What if there's a contract going on where Nike made a contract with them to where instead of going through celebrities to boost their shit, because, you know, celebrities can fall down. They can have their pedestal knocked out for misbehaving, you know? So it's like, okay, well, we can't, instead of having to depend on these celebrity type figures, what if we utilized a different method where we're now getting people as common people together to just boost it up for us? What better way than have an AI generated fucking account? And then also on top of that, having a bot run that fucking page for Nike trainers or fucking Boston Market
Glasses.
or glasses, like, you know, different brands, whatever. And then that information gets relayed back. All that info being gathered then gets given back to these companies that are doing it, and then they know how to change their marketplace or new catch thing or whatever it is to get you to buy it, to get, you know, to like triple down on it.
Yep.
We know these are the positive things happening that we're doing right.
Definitely happening. That is.
Well, I know, but I'm
happening.
saying my whole narrative is there a contract or a exchange happening between these tech giants and them, and they're doing that? It was all intentional from the beginning.
I don't think that it was intentional from the beginning. I do believe that there's probably a contract now or some sort of written agreement somewhere. I don't think it was intentional from the beginning, because they had advertisers running ads for people forever, as far as you can fucking remember. They were trying
Okay,
to sell something.
can I throw another one out there?
Of course.
That's about dead internet.
Yeah.
Some people are going to fight me on this. I know they will, because I know people how they are about pornography. But I truly believe that well over half of the pornography that you see and these girls who are OnlyFans girls that people subscribe to, they're fake. AI generated.
Well, yeah.
Not real people. Because I'm not going to say the name because I don't know if I have permission to say it. And on top of that, I don't know if we'll get in trouble.
We
for
might.
saying it. So I'm not going to say the name, but there is a person who started, who is in tech, knows what he's doing. And what he does is he probes for information and watches live data to see if some of these people are actually real. Like, try to find them in real life. He tries to see if they're actually a real person with a, you know, like real identity, like they actually exist. When they show a video of them at some resort, you know, isolated house that they rented, some 20-year-old girl all of a sudden like had the money and went and rented this massive mansion, you know, all to herself on some remote island, which there's tons of videos like that. Snapchat pushes that the most.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't really do Snapchat. Every once in a while I get on there because I have friends who post, like, share their like stories with friends only, right? So but the page you have to go to get to it has all these different shorts on there down below the top bar where your friends would have their stories. Below that is endless. You can keep scrolling forever. There's no end.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. I've tried to scroll as long as I could. I gave up after 5 minutes. It never gets to a bottom. It's all these different
I'm
short,
following,
like, you know,
yeah.
Little
I'm just
Snapchat stories.
baffled by that.
Yeah, but the thing is, almost all of them, either A, it's a marketing thing for Disney, for like Marvel, no joke. A majority of them I see is a marketing thing for Marvel, for any upcoming or trending thing that's going on with Star Wars to Marvel comics, like the works, and it's all Disney owned, right? Ever since that thing happened, that's all that's been on there. Where you know, like Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's the new trending thing that's in there right now. But before that was this another Star Wars show. It's always a Disney thing. So as you scroll, though, in the majority of what you see in those shorts are these girls who live these influencer lives, where they're always posting stuff, where they're always in a tropical thing, like year round, where they're in these thong bikinis, like, you know, like, and blah, blah, blah. And there would be like the things where these girls are also like putting up there like $10,000 to stay the night with me. And then all of a sudden it will have an update to the story, and it will have someone who paid $10,000, some fucking cuck baited me. But they're the only ones there at this massive mansion. I'm telling you, man, after seeing some of the AI generated content, and since I've been able to get my hands on some of them and like dissect them with my tools, like visually you can't differentiate on some of these. Like you can't tell it's fake, that it's AI generated fully, even what you're seeing visually. It's that real. And it's like, I'm curious as to what the percentage is of people like that, because apparently that's this guy was saying that there was, I don't remember the number. I'm not going to say the number, but he was saying that out of however many he investigated, it was I don't remember the exact number, but it was a scary amount of them were actually fake. They weren't even real people in real life. They didn't exist. None of them did.
Freaky.
Like that face that you see, it's like he was showing like because he was using like a face software, so it like can identify. So he showed examples that can identify two different people.
They're in no database.
Yeah.
Right?
There's no hits on them. That it will come up with like 30 people, because potentials, because it's like a hybrid of all of them to make this unique face, this trending, attractive face.
Have you seen those?
And it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And
okay.
that leads me on to the pornography part. Because if that's happening there, look at all the weird, like what's up with pornography and this narrative of mother and daughter or son and mom, like, and all of a sudden, like, it's this isolated thing, and there's like this weird camera view, like how people do the POV shit, right? Where it's like as if you're looking through the eyes of the guy or the girl or whatever. Who's to say that that's not 100% AI generated? Because it can create things, especially if it's in that viewpoint. AI video creation, like the generated content it makes, does that the best.
And through Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, it does it the best, though, having that viewpoint, because it has to do with, anyways, but it does do it the best in that way to make it look the most realistic.
I don't know.
Compared to like watching a movie. Like where it's like you're watching a regular movie, how they shoot the frames and stuff like that. It doesn't do that as well. You can see little bits where it doesn't quite match up, and you can tell that it's fake. But it catches you at first, because at first you're like, I can't tell the difference. But as you walk, you're like, but something seems off.
Yeah.
And then you slowly start to realize where the cutouts are, and like where something is not phasing together, transitioning correctly,
or it's too bright in one section.
Yeah, or too glossed over right here. Just subtly, but when it comes to like that weird viewpoint where it's POV and it's this isolated environment, so everything's from a outward point of view the entire time, from that perspective, AI does a fantastic job of that. It's basically flawless. So it just makes me wonder
You
how
got any of those videos I can watch, dude?
I don't know.
For science, of course.
Bro, for science, man. Science, damn you. But yeah, no, that's what terrifies me.
Yeah.
Is that.
Well, I mean, that's the precursor, right? I mean, we've talked about recently about the movies and TV shows that are probably AI generated, based on reality TV shows and just cartoons in general.
I didn't say why it terrified me. It terrified me because the narrative behind it is to now contort females' perspectives and the male perspective. It's to lure innocent women who could have grown up to be confident, strong, independent, capable, skillful, to this. To like, oh, I'm gonna start an OnlyFans account and just fucking be a whore, and that's what I'm gonna do, and take away all the time and the years of my youth I gave to this. I now don't have no skills.
Yep.
I have nothing. So now once you dry up, and because it's all a phase, right? Like, I'm not talking about them being a phase. I'm talking about beauty is a phase, and the beauty will go away. And then what are you left with? Nothing. It's like a way to break down it. I want to say there's a psyop. I want to say there's a psyop and a operation off the books. I have a conspiracy on all that shit, that this is a way, one of their deterioration methods to stop people from producing.
Thinning the herd,
having
right?
kids. Yeah. Yep. That's, I believe it is, because it's start this narrative, of like, this type of lifestyle, heavily influence it, which a lot of people are flocking to it because it's easy money. I was like, oh, you just gotta have,
well, it's easy money.
Well, if I get over the fact that I have to like have sex with 3 guys at once, like if I think about it, like I just have to get over that. They'll push that narrative. or vice versa for the guy. Like,
Yeah.
the influence on that. I really feel like that's it's 100% intentional, and it's a way to, one, make you lose any form of self-respect for yourself, but then break your will, because your will gets broken through this, breaks you emotionally, and it lingers in the back of your head. That's why all these people, if you watch interviews with people who used to be porn stars and these documentaries that we've talked about before,
we have.
where these porn stars try to save other girls, these other female porn stars who used to be in porn, they're like they literally try to save women from doing it, and they speak against it, and but their voices are being snubbed down, right? And never mind, man. I just it really terrifies me like that would happen, because I have daughters.
Yeah.
Hell, even my sons. The only difference is that, like, with my sons, I feel like it's easier for me to keep them from doing, from being swayed by something so deplorable, than it would be my daughters, just because I can relate to my sons far easier than I can to a female. I'm not female. What do I know about being female? I've genetically have been a male my whole life. I don't know what it's like to be a female. I'm not even going to pretend I can fully understand it. I can understand the concept, but not the true grit.
I can
of
try
it.
to emotionally attach to it, but there's no way
Yeah.
that I can physically or understand that emotionally fully. There's no way.
That's why I don't understand when you have, sorry, that just made me think of when someone claims that they're a female who's a man, not biological.
Yeah.
I've never understood it, because it's like, I look at them, I go, you've been biologically male your whole life. You don't know what a female thinks. You're not female.
It's just confused
It's
individuals,
really,
right?
It confuses me.
They're
Shit.
a lot of the times it's just a young boy or a young girl, and they're like, I'm not comfortable with who I am anymore, or right now, because they're going through puberty. Their body's changing, and then they're like, maybe I need to be this. Mm-hmm. Then
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to bring into that. It's just, it makes me wonder, whatever.
I mean, it probably all is a psyop, a dead internet concept where all this stuff's being pushed to make you, like I said earlier, desensitized, manipulated to think the way they want you to think, and then just destroy your way of life. I mean, that's the whole initiation, the whole idea behind it, right? So
I'd like to,
initiative rather, not initiation.
I want to
initiative.
throw something else out there real quick before we close out. So, I did an experiment, and I didn't tell you about it, but I've been doing it this whole week. I stopped. I actually haven't stopped. I mean, granted, I technically have now, because I got water from my fridge, but I was drinking strictly water, not from any form from my water system here. I've been making sure to drink pre-filtered, pre-cleaned water with a proper pH level. All week. That's all I've drank when I was at work. When I've been at home, I've always made sure my other bottle was full from work, and I tried it, and I was doing it. That's only water I would intake. Now, I would shower and all that stuff. And I brushed my teeth very well. I just didn't swallow any of it, right? 99.99% of the water I intook was from a third-party filtered source, not from my local water supply, where they put fluoride in there, like
Other
for
cleaning agents, yeah.
agents, all that stuff. And I can tell you right now that just doing that, I experienced a healthier stomach. Like, my stomach didn't hurt at all this week, at all. I noticed that my teeth naturally were slightly wider, which was weird, because I think it's because, when you drink water, you intake water, and how that, depending on what's in that water and like the levels of the pH, all that stuff, because when it soaks in your cells in your body and you ingest it, it benefits you everywhere, having being hydrated all the way down to like your skin follicles, like even your fucking your nails on your finger look healthier, like all that stuff. So I did that all week, and I noticed 3 positives that stuck out to me. 1, stomach didn't hurt at all. I never once had a stomach ache this week.
Was that a constant occurrence in your life?
I would have stomach aches on and off, like briefly, but just on and off. And it was usually after I was drinking, like I would have like a whole glass of water after like, not like chugging it, but like in 30 minutes, just casually drinking 1 glass of water over 30 minutes. My stomach would hurt 30 minutes after that. Once I was done, it was like it would slowly kick in and it would hurt for like 15 minutes. And it's not like a heavy ache, just a little ache. Something you can just brush off. But I haven't had that all week. I noticed that I've had better mental clarity than instead of drinking the other filtered water at my job. I've been making sure to drink,
Is it alkaline or pH water? What is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's alkaline, whatever water.
My entire house is at pH and alkaline.
Yeah. And that's all I've been drinking. Because we had a case of them that I kept up at work, and that's all I drank. And then I would make sure I had enough filled up to drink, here in one of my bottles. And yeah, dude, I noticed those 2 things. And then on top of that, I noticed that my eyes were clearer, like heavily clearer. And the thing is, I didn't change what amount of water I was intaking. Same amount of water.
Were you eating differently as well? The same diet?
Same.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So drinking all that water, I saw the benefits of it.
So
I saw the benefits.
in that regard, my entire house is on a reverse osmosis and a pH water filtration system. The toilet water is cleaner than most people's drinking water out of their sink. We have soft water throughout the entire house. It was worth the investment for sure. And we're getting a new one because we got struck by lightning. Our neighbor did, and it fried our entire fucking system. So we're getting a new one.
Yeah.
$10,000 later, wee.
Jesus.
But luckily, insurance covers that. So there's
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean
That's it.
that's the episode. I mean that's all we were going to talk about today.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening. huh?
Shit! I said at the beginning there was a theory I had that tied into it. And now I can't remember what it was. Now I can't remember. I do this all the time. I get spacey. Next thing you know, I'm going to remember the moment we're done.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck. Happened again.
It's the dead internet theory, people.
Yeah.
Be careful out there. The bots are going to try to manipulate you and think that you're crazy, but you're not really crazy. So they're going to make you want to hate your
Coming
spouse.
from the guy who's rocking in his chair
Yeah, constantly.
while talking. Like,
Why'd you... Was that an AI? What was that? Was that a bot?
and who knows?
I don't.
I don't either. Anyways, so but yeah, no, that's all we got today.
Can we end this?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do right now. You always like, hey, we end this, blah blah blah. Yeah, I was trying to end it.
Well,
Come on,
everybody, thank you very
Your
much for
mic is
listening
like
as always.
fucking all.
I know,
fucking-
my mic keeps falling, and I'm like having
Why
to
is
manipulate
it falling?
It's just loose.
That's she
Don't
said.
even. Don't
Dog.
even.
Hot diggity dog.
we moved it like 20 times this morning, so
That's how we like it.
yeah.
Loose and ready.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening.
We're
yet
talking
again.
about men's
This is my
buttholes.
4th time saying that. Wait, what? Thank you so much for listening. The balls are glued to my butthole again.
hey. Unglue me before you go, though. Please.
Now I'm ass up, spread with a butter knife. That song's wild, dog.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah. So no, I noticed the difference with the water. It made a difference on how I felt, visually, physically, the works. And if only I could afford to maintain that lifestyle.
You can. You definitely can.
We all know water's the most expensive thing out there, my
It
man.
is starting to become very expensive. You're right.
Yeah. I was really hoping that I had to have some flatulence at the end of this episode, but unfortunately it's not there. I was hoping it was so I could let out a silent bomb if I could help it to get back at you for that lingering death the past couple episodes.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because my farts I've been doing in here. Yeah.
Yeah, luckily we have proper AC, so it sucks it out eventually. But
That's what she said.
Hey, but that one time it was dense.
It was a thick one, dude.
Dude, it was like it had a ghost death grip on fucking
And thank you all for
everything in
listening
here.
to the podcast again.
You're welcome, everyone. Remember, we are the greatest podcast in the world.
Don't you fucking forget.
Remix. Smartly Uneducated.
Yeah, I'm
I feel like that was a good radio man
I'm
voice.
very sleepy.
Dude. Give it up for Rebecca.
Welcome to sueducated.com, where we do the greatest hits around and talk about things that nobody wants to talk about. I hope everyone's having a wonderful drive this evening or afternoon or morning. If I don't see you, hear from you, or talk to you, good morning, good evening, and good night.
And we're pro 3 titties.
Yes,
What?
sir. Let's go to Pluto, baby.
Raw milk. All right, let's go. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.